From police using new technology to end a high-speed chase, to cops hacking cars to stop them getting away, and the wildest police chase through the slums of Brazil. Welcome back, Charlie here. You're about to see the craziest ways police stopped suspects. First, we have to look at the best police chase of all time. This took place in Osasco, Brazil. A Brazilian cop on a motorbike tries to pull over a wanted man, but instead of complying, the criminal speeds away. The man goes at wild speeds on his Honda XRE, all while his girlfriend rides on the back. The wanted man is clearly fearless, but so is the cop chasing him on his motorbike. This results in the criminal and the cop competing to see who is the best rider. In the nail-biting footage, they both barely dodge cars, buses, other cop cars, and at one point even a ladder. They also dodge crowds, putting other people's lives at risk. At some points, they even fly through the air as they ride over speed bumps at a high speed. Despite the wanted man risking his life, the cop manages to keep up. You can see the man's girlfriend turn around at various points, clearly shocked that the cop is still chasing them. They even go down one-way roads, driving directly into oncoming traffic. The cop repeatedly yells at the man to pull over, but this wanted criminal ignores the officer's commands. During the chase, the wanted man runs dozens of red lights. Some of the turns they take are so tight, sparks literally fly. The officer gets close many times, but every time the lucky criminal somehow gets away. That's when the cop realizes he needs to do something drastic. He chases the man into a favela. Favelas have very narrow streets and are often controlled by criminals. The criminal's idea to get away almost works, but on a very tight corner his bike finally falls over, concluding the Hollywood-style 5-minute chase. The suspect removes his helmet and finally surrenders to the cop. The officer works for Brazil's ROCAM Force, which is an elite motorcycle division of the Brazilian police. The criminal and his girlfriend were arrested. These guys definitely were worthy opponents. When this guy gets released from prison, he should really take up a new career as a Hollywood stunt driver. Now, moving over to Iowa, USA. Cops had pulled over the car of a wanted man, but as they're checking his information, the criminal Dennis Guider Jr. drives off, despite Officer Patrick McCarty standing right in front of his car. Dennis likely assumed Patrick would move out of the way, but instead Officer McCarty stops the car in the most unorthodox fashion. Jumping onto Dennis's hood, Dennis then tries to speed off, but Officer McCarty heroically grabs to the car's roof. Dennis began driving at speeds of more than 50 miles per hour, causing Officer McCarty to hang on for dear life. Dennis drove the car for about 1 mile, before ditching the car and trying to escape, but thankfully cops were able to arrest Dennis, all thanks to Officer McCarty's insane bravery. McCarty suffered minor back injuries but was okay, and as for Dennis, he was sentenced to 5 years behind bars. Moving over to Jõgeva County, Estonia, we have to look at this insanely impressive way cops stopped a speeding suspect. A man was intoxicated while driving and refused to stop for police, but the man made a big mistake, opting to drive down a narrow 2-lane road. Cops were waiting with a gadget known as a spike strip. The intoxicated driver dangerously overtakes another car, but as he does this, a cop throws down a spike strip. It was perfectly timed. The spikes destroyed the suspect's tires, all while keeping other road users safe. Spike strips can be dangerous if not deployed well, but this cop is clearly an expert. The drunk driver's tires were deflated and he was soon arrested. Spike strips are awesome gadgets, but they're nothing compared to the RF Safe Stop. In 2021, New York police ended a high-speed pursuit, and did so by hacking the suspect's car. It sounds like something from a movie. Cops used a target deactivation emitter, allowing them to remotely stop the suspect's car. The suspect likely had no idea what was going on when his car began to slow down. Totally unaware that his car was being hacked, cops were then able to barricade the car in and arrest the 18-year-old suspect. Some say it's quite scary how cops can now hack into your car, but in this case, it potentially saved a life. An even crazier car chase took place in Florida. Cops were chasing a stolen Chevrolet Camaro. The suspects refused to stop, but that's when the police cruiser behind them stops them in their tracks. Police use a high-tech device called the Grappler. It fires a Spider-Man-like web at the car. The Grappler wraps around a fleeing vehicle's rear tire and brings the car to a sudden stop. It works perfectly as the carjacker immediately surrenders. The Grappler is being used more and more by cops in the USA. In 2022, Arizona police used the Grappler during a high-speed chase. A 39-year-old woman named Amy was driving while intoxicated. While driving, she thought she saw her ex-husband, so began ramming his car. But it wasn't even her ex-husband in the other car. It was an innocent woman who had no idea what was going on. Thankfully, police used the Grappler to stop Amy's car. Amy was later arrested for her wild ride. Thankfully, the woman Amy was driving into did not suffer any injuries. Going back to Florida, we have to look at this insane high-speed chase. A van refused to stop for police. That's when police fire this gadget known as a Star Chase at the van. Star Chases are basically GPS trackers. Cops press one button, and the Star Chase will fly out from a secret compartment on the cop car. A very strong adhesive then sticks it onto the back of a criminal's car. That's what cops did to this van in Florida, tracking its every movement in real time. The criminal had no idea his van was being tracked. It allowed other cop cars to flank the van and arrest the driver. Having a Star Chase on a cop car boosts apprehension rates from 72 to 85%. Staying in Florida, we have to look at this wild high-speed chase. 24-year-old Kevin Morales was speeding in a Honda Civic, but when cops tried to pull him over, Kevin has other ideas. Cops tried to stop Kevin using a spike strip, but this involves perfect timing.
Did you guys hit him or not?
And because Kevin was going at 100 miles per hour, the spike strip failed. Cops then set up a second spike strip, but unfortunately for cops, they miss Kevin once again. Another cop then sets up a third spike strip. This one gets Kevin, but miraculously his car doesn't stop. He skids out of control, but somehow his car keeps on going. His Honda Civic must be built like a tank, but no car can drive on popped tires for too long, and after some time the car skids out of control while going into a swamp. Kevin finally gets out and is arrested by cops. Kevin was arrested on a myriad of charges, and to the shock of the police, Kevin's girlfriend was riding in the car the entire time. She was arrested but was not charged with any crimes. It's safe to say that police have some amazing technology, and while many of these criminal drivers were impressive, they were no match for law enforcement's new technologies. But now it's time for you to make your voice heard. Comment below which of these chases was the most wild. I've been Charlie, thanks for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed, and if you haven't already, what are you waiting for? Subscribe to Top 10s.